Hello everyone, this video lesson is all about hypothesis testing. So hypothesis is simply a statement that something is true. Okay, it is an explanation, a claim, or an assertion about people, objects, or events. Okay, so it is assumption or any statement that something is true. Okay, so we have this what we call statistical hypothesis, wherein uh, it is any assumption or assertion made on the distribution of a population which is either true or false. Okay, so we also have this hypothesis testing, okay, which is the statistical procedure in determining which hypothesis is more acceptable as true or which hypothesis is more likely to be false. Dito na papasok yung tinatawag natin na accept and reject or yung ating yung null and alternative hypothesis natin. Dito sa tinatawag nating hypothesis testing. Yan. So we have two types of hypothesis. Okay? So the first one is the null hypothesis or what we call yung tinatawag natin na HO or H sub O. Okay? So we have HA and HO. So null hypothesis is the HO or H sub O. Okay, so this expresses the idea of no existence of relationship or difference between the variable under study. So usually makikitaan natin kapag meron tayong statement, makikitaan natin siya ng not or yung no, na term. So there is no, ganyan. So pag nabasa ninyo yun, ibig sabihin that is a null hypothesis. Like itong example natin dito, there is no significant relationship between the attitude of students towards their subjects and their performance rating at the end of the semester. Okay, so basta nabasa ninyo yung no dyan, there is no, walang pagbabago, ganyan, null hypothesis siya. So walang difference, walang diferensya. Okay? The next type of hypothesis is the alternative hypothesis or yung HA na tinatawag natin or yung H sub A. So note class na sometimes sa ibang reference, yung symbol for alternative hypothesis is H sub 1. So pwedeng H sub A or yung H sub 1 na tinatawag natin. Okay? So ito naman, opposite siya ng null hypothesis. Kung yung sa null hypothesis, walang pagbabago, walang difference, dito naman, it states, okay, the existence of relationship or difference. So, like for example, ito yung statement natin dito, there is a significant relationship between the attitude of students towards their subjects and their performance rating at the end of the semester. Okay, so there is. Kanina, there is no. Ngayon, there is. So, meron. Meron siyang difference, meron siyang pagbabago. So, those are the types of hypothesis. So, tatandaan ninyo yung dalawang yan. Huwag kayong malito. Tandaan ninyo kapag null hypothesis from the term null, o di ba meron tayong tinatawag na null set sa ating set theory and logic na topic. So, we have this what we call null set. Pag sinabi nating null is empty or wala. Okay? So, null, lagi niyong tatandaan, there is no. Okay? Yung alternative, opposite lang niya. There is. Okay? Next, this one, we have the types of error. Okay? We have these types of error. Meron tayong tinatawag na type 1 error and type 2 error. So, in here, pag sinabi nating type 1 error, it is about rejecting the null hypothesis when in fact the null hypothesis is true. Okay? Or in short, tinatawag natin to sometimes na false positive. Okay? So, false positive. Yung type 2 error naman, ayan, ito yung false negative. Kasi, sabi niya dyan, failure in rejecting the null hypothesis when in fact the null hypothesis is false. Okay? So, dito sa type 1 error, para mas tandaan ninyo, pag sinabi nating type 1 error, ito yung akala mo may mali, pero wala naman pala. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na false positive. Akala mo mali, pero wala naman pala. Okay, let's have a more real life situation problem so that you can really relate. Okay, for example, in a classroom setup. So, examination day. Okay, so, syempre, ayan, my teacher and then my students. Okay, you imagine, si teacher, nagbabantay siya ng exam and there is this one student, okay, na nakatingin or I mean nakaharap, okay, nakatulala siya, nakaharap yung kanyang mata doon sa papel ng katabi niya or ng kaklase niya. So ako as a teacher, okay, iisipin ko na nag-cheat yung student. Okay? So yun, parang aakusahan ko siya. I will claim na nag-cheat siya. Pero yun pala, nung lumabas yung totoo, okay, ay nag-iisip lang pala siya, okay? 'Di ba meron tayong mga instances, okay, mga ganon na pangyayari na hindi natin alam ang layo ng tingin natin, okay? So, ayun pala. So, akala ng teacher, nag-cheat siya, nangungopya siya, pero in fact, hindi pala. Okay? So, akala mo, merong something, wala naman pala. So, tamang hinala kumbaga. Okay? Itong ating type 1 error. Kaya siya naging false positive. Okay? Pag type 2 error naman, ito naman yung akala mo walang mali, okay? Pero, meron pala. So, inaccept mo. Parang ganon. Kaya false negative siya. Akala mo wala, pero meron pala. Okay? At balik tayo dun sa example ko kanina. So, exam setup. So, may teacher, tapos may mga students na nag-exam. So, si teacher, kaya nasa harap siya, and merong student na nasa likod, and nangungopya na pala siya. Pero si teacher, hindi niya napansin. O, nung pinapasa niya yung papel, okay lang, walang nangyari. So, parang na-accept niya yung kamalian or yung maling gawain nung student. Okay? So, failure to reject the null hypothesis or failure to reject kung ano man yung pagkakamali. Kaya siya naging false negative. Okay? So, again, yung type 2 error, akala mo walang mali, pero meron pala. Okay? Inaccept mo kahit na mali. Okay? So, yun yung ating type 2 error. So, titingnan natin itong table natin dito. As you can see, yung decision natin, ito siya, yung decision natin, sabi niya, okay, fact decision daw, okay, yung kapag do not reject, or ito, accept siya, okay, pag i-accept daw natin yung null hypothesis, at true siya, that is the correct decision. Pero, kapag inaccept natin yung null hypothesis, okay, pero siya ay false, that is what we call the type 2 error or yung tinatawag natin na beta error. Nakuha? So, null hypothesis, pag inaccept natin siya at siya ay mali, type 2 error. Pero yung null hypothesis, pag inaccept natin siya at siya ay tama, yun yung correct decision. Okay? Next, kapag yung null hypothesis naman natin ay true, pero ni-reject natin siya yung tinatawag natin na type 1 error or yung tinatawag na alpha error. Okay? Then, kapag yung null hypothesis naman natin ay mali at ni-reject natin, that is the correct decision. Okay, so yan yung explanation ng ating table. Next, we have this two types of tests, the one-tailed and two-tailed test. Okay, so hindi ko nababasahin itong napakahabang explanation na nandyan sa screen natin. Okay, in short lang, okay, ginagamit natin yung one-tailed test kapag directional. Okay? Tatandaan ninyo, ginagamit natin ang one-tailed test kapag directional. Ibig sabihin may patutunguhan. Madalas nyo makikita dyan yung greater than, less than, increases, decreases, lower, upper. So, may patutunguhan siya. Right, left, up, down. Okay? So, one-tailed test. And also, dito sa one-tailed test, may tinatawag tayo na left-tailed and right-tailed. So, kapag greater than siya, right-tailed. Pag less than, left-tailed. Okay? So, yun lang yun. Tatandaan ninyo, one-tailed test, directional. Okay? Diyan makikitaan kung left siya, right siya. So, nandyan yung greater than, less than, increases, decreases. Okay? Then, we also have this one, the two-tailed test. Ito naman yung non-directional. So, madalas ninyong makikita dito, yung between, has an effect, okay? Equal, not equal, okay? Those are non-directional. Okay? Parang wala siyang specific direction. Kung left ba siya or right, ganyan. Okay? So, yun yung two-tailed test natin. So, kapag may nabasa kayong ganon, ibig sabihin two-tailed test yung ating gagamitin. Okay? So, one-tailed and two-tailed. So, ito lang yung illustration natin. Okay? Ayan. Ito yung illustration natin kapag graph natin siya. So, one-tailed test, tapos left-tail siya. Ito yung kukunin natin. Rejection region. Okay? Then, kapag two-tailed test, two-tailed, so dalawang buntot, kaya ayan siya. Ayan yung magiging rejection region natin. Then, one-tailed test naman, right-tail, so dito siya sa right. Okay? So, yun yung magiging rejection region natin. Okay, next, let's have these steps in hypothesis testing. Okay, so you have to remember this one when we are going to solve or to test the hypothesis of a particular claim or a particular problem. First, we have to formulate a hypothesis. Particularly yung null and alternative hypothesis natin. So, always remember, again, yung null natin, there is no difference. Okay? Kapag alternative, yun. There is difference. Okay? There is a significant difference. Okay? Level of significance and test statistic. Okay? So, sa level of significance natin, actually, there are three common. Okay, we will be talking about that in the next slides. So, there are three common level of significance, which is yung 1%, 10%, and 5%. Pero, usually, ang ginagamit natin ay yung 5%. Kasi yung dalawa na significance level natin ay usually ginagamit siya sa more critical studies. Okay, and we also have this test statistic. Okay, yung ating tinatawag na z-test and t-test. Then next, we have the critical region. Okay, so later on, you'll be getting what is that critical region all about. Next is to compute the z value or the t value, depending on what type of statistic or test statistic will be used. Okay. Next, decide whether to accept or reject. Okay, so meron tayong specific na condition later kung paano natin i-accept or paano natin or kailan natin i-accept or kailan natin i-reject yung null hypothesis natin. And then lastly, of course, state your answer in a clear conclusion, okay? Or in a complete sentence. Diba, when you are solving problem naman, the final answer should always be in a complete unit or in a complete sentence. So, ito na siya. Okay? So, number 1 is to formulate the null and alternative hypothesis. So, null hypothesis, ayan, it shows no significant difference between two parameters. Okay? So, denoted by the H sub O. Okay? While yung alternative hypothesis natin, yun yung opposite ng null hypothesis. Okay? It shows that observations are the result of a real effect. It is denoted by H sub A or H sub 1. Okay? Ayan. So, nilagay din pala dito yung two-tailed test versus one-tailed test. So, when the alternative hypothesis is two-sided, like ito, ganito yung itsura ng ating alternative hypothesis, then we will be using two-tailed test, or it is called two-tailed test. Then, when the given statistics hypothesis assumes a less than or greater than value, then we have this one-tailed. So, sabi ko sa inyo, basta pag nakita ninyo yung less than or greater than, then it is one-tailed. Or gagamitan natin siya ng one-tailed test. Kapag not equal, ganyan, yun naman yung ating two-tailed test. Next, ito na yung sinasabi ko. We have the level of significance. So, the level of significance denoted by alpha, or, ayan, tatandaan ninyo yung symbol na ito. Yan, yung para siyang A, refers to the degree of significance in which we accept or reject the null hypothesis. So, 100% accuracy is not possible in accepting or rejecting a hypothesis. The significance level is also the probability of making the wrong decision when the null hypothesis is true. Yan. So, sinasabi ko kanina, ito yung most common levels. Ayan siya. So, 1%, 0.01 is yung 1%, 0.05 yan yung 5%, and then 0.10 is yung ating 10%. So, again, ang usually ginagamit sa study, like kayo, since high school students pa lang kayo, yung yung significance level na 5%. Kasi yung dalawa ay ginagamit siya sa mga more complicated na studies. Yung 1% and 10%. Okay? Ayan. Next is yung types ng test statistic natin. So, ito na yung sabi ko sa inyo. We have the z-test and the t-test. Okay? So, z-test is used for testing the mean of a population versus a standard, or comparing the means of two populations with large, okay, samples, whether you know the population standard deviation or not. So, tatandaan lang ninyo, we use z-test when the population standard deviation is given or known. So, we use z-test kapag known yung ating population standard deviation, at kapag kasi meron yung time, meron sa problem na hindi nababanggit or wala talagang standard deviation na nababanggit. Okay? So, ang magpagbe-basean ninyo ay yung sample natin. Kapag sobrang laki niya, then we will use z-test. Okay? Then, kapag t-test naman, yung population standard deviation natin ay unknown. So, ibig sabihin, sample standard deviation yung given. Okay? So, again, wait lang, isulat ko dito. Kapag z-test, population standard deviation is known and yung ating large sample. Meron tayong napakalaking sample. Ayan. So, more than or greater than 30 siya. Kapag greater than, ayun, at hindi given yung ating, okay, gagamitin nyo lang ito ha, kapag hindi given. Kapag hindi given, yung titingnan nyo lang yung sa sample size, kapag hindi given yung population standard deviation. Pero kapag given yung population standard deviation, automatic, that is z-test. Kapag unknown naman, kapag hindi given yung population standard deviation, ang gagamitin natin ay t-test. Right? Okay. Ayan, so ito yung sabi ko. Ito na yung kanina, actually, naulit lang. So, determining the type of test. So, yung type of test natin, nagde-depend siya sa alternative hypothesis. So, sabi niya, kapag yan, nakita niyo yung not equal dyan, two-tailed. Kapag greater than, right-tailed. Kapag less than naman, we have left-tailed. Okay, tatandaan lang ninyo ito. Ayan. Next step natin is yung determining the critical value or yung tabular value for the test. So, dito, i-given na ito. Okay? If you will be having your quiz or exam, syempre, lalagyan na namin to or given na yung sa table natin. Okay? So, kapag, for example, ang gagamitin ninyo ay yung 0.05, which is usually yun nga yung ginagamit, 0.05 or yung 5% natin, at ang kakailanganin yung type of test ay one-tailed, syempre, ang kukunin yung value ay kukunin yung critical value ng z ay 1.645. Pero kapag two-tailed naman, yung 1.96. Okay? So, usually, ito lang yung ginagamit. Pero we have this table na in case na may ibigay na 0.10 or 0.025 or 0.01 or yung 1% natin. Okay? Ayan. So, na-explain ko na rin to. Let's just see the formulas lang. Ayan. So, computing for test statistic. So, this is the fourth step. So, sabi ko sa inyo kanina, population, standard deviation is known, we will be using z-test. So, when the population standard deviation is unknown naman, yung t-test. And, ito, comparing proportions, pag nagko-compare lang tayo ng proportions, we have the z-test for proportions or simply yung z-test natin. Kapag yan, ito naman, ginagamit siya, like yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina, kapag wala tayong nabasang kahit anong standard deviation na given doon. Okay? So, we are going to, if we're comparing proportions, ibig sabihin, z-test yung ating gagamitin for proportions. Okay? Pero for now, let's focus on the z-test and t-test. So, ito, natakol na natin to before, formula for z-test. So, z is equal to the sample mean minus the population mean all over the population standard deviation over the square root of the sample size. Okay? So, ganun din sa t-test, ang mapapalitan lang, of course, yung ating ito. Magiging S lang yung ating population standard deviation since, yun nga, sample standard deviation yung magiging, yung meron tayo or yung magiging given natin when we are going to use the t-test. Okay, so let's try this one. So, determine the appropriate test statistics, okay, kung z-test or t-test siya, that will be applied for each of the following problem statements. Okay, so write your, okay. So, number 1, sabi niya, excuse me. So, a sample of 70 observations was selected from a normal population. So, the sample mean is 2.78 and the sample standard deviation is 0.83. So, another sample of 58 observations was selected from a normal population. The mean sample is 2.63 and the sample standard deviation is 0.75. So, dito, obvious na obvious. Since ang given niya ay sample standard deviation, ayan, dalawa-dalawa pa siya dyan, ibig sabihin ito ay gagamitan natin ng t-test. Okay? Next, number 2. A district supervisor of a certain school surveyed 28 randomly selected teachers and found that they worked an average of 42.6 hours a week and the standard deviation was 3.75 hours. Okay? So, dito naman sa ating number 2, okay, ano kaya ang pwede nating gamitin or ano kaya ang gagamitin nating test statistics? So, as you can see, wala tayong napapansin kung hindi niya in-specify kung population, standard deviation, or sample standard deviation. So, titingnan natin kung yung ating sample size ay, nasan yung ating sample size? Ayan. So, maliit siya. Okay? Maliit siya, ibig sabihin, t-test natin. Kasi, diba, less than 30. So, that is t-test. Next, number 3. A researcher randomly selected a sample of 550 residents and found that 495 of them do have household pets. Okay, so dito sa atin, wala ulit given na wala ulit given kung meron siyang population standard deviation or sample standard deviation. So, titingnan natin yung sample. So, sabi niya yung sample ay 550. So, napakalaki niya, more than 30 siya. So, ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin natin ay z-test. Okay, so ganun lang kadali mag-determine. Next is number 4. An agronomist randomly selected 20 matured calamansi trees of one variety and have a mean height of 10.8 feet with standard deviation of 1.25 feet. While 12 randomly selected calamansi trees of another variety have a mean height of 9.6 feet with standard deviation of 1.45. Okay? So, we have two independent samples here. And wala ulit ini-state kung populations siya or sample, yung mga standard deviation na given. So, we will be looking for the for the samples or the number, the sample size. So, sabi dyan, yung sample size na nauna ay 20, tapos yung isa 12. So, less than 30 siya, ibig sabihin, we will be using t-test. Okay? So, that's how easy you're going to just look for the sample size kapag hindi in-state mismo sa problem yung ating population or sample standard deviation. Okay? Next, the last number, we have determine who among the 3 salesmen will most likely to be promoted based on their monthly sales in pesos. Okay? So, dito, ayan, walang given, parang we are just comparing. Okay, so when we compare, okay, yung population standard deviation, hindi siya given dyan. And we are just comparing, okay? So, usually, actually, dito sa problem na to, we use ANOVA. Okay? Pero, if restricted siya sa Z, since wala siyang population standard deviation, then we will just be using the t-test. Okay, tatandaan niyo. Kapag ganitong problem, usually, ANOVA yung ginagamit natin, yung analysis of variance. Pero, if restricted siya, okay, sa z-test natin kasi wala siyang population standard deviation, then we will use the t-test. Okay? Ayan, so after computing for the test statistics, we are now ready to decide whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. So, ang sabi dito, the null hypothesis is accepted when the absolute value of the computed value of z or t is less than the absolute value of the critical value. So, otherwise, reject the null hypothesis. So, itong statement na to, you note na lang or you remember, this is applicable for two-tailed test. So, pag two-tailed test, applicable ito yung gagawin nyo siyang absolute. Okay? Or kahit negative, yung makuha ninyo ay gagawin yung positive. Yung tinatawag natin na absolute value. So, ito, again, applicable siya sa two-tailed. Pero pag one-tailed siya, pag may left or right, kapag left, may negative, so hindi natin siya absolute. So, as is siya na negative. Yun yung i-compare ninyo. Okay? Pero ito yung overall niya. So, sabi niya, kapag daw yung z or t value computed natin ay sana tayo, less than yung ating critical value, less than the critical value, then we're going to accept. Okay? Pero pag yung z or yung t value na na-compute natin ay greater than the critical value, then we are going to reject the null hypothesis. Okay? So, yun yung, tatandaan niyo yun yung rule natin. Ito, rule siya for critical value method. Last time kasi ang na-discuss natin or naturo ko sa inyo ay yung p-value method. So, for this one, mag-focus kayo sa critical value method. So, ito yung i-apply natin na situation. Again, this is statement, itong in-state niya dito ay for two-tail lang siya, yung kukunin niyo yung absolute value. Pero kapag may to the left tayo or to the right, o pag right, walang problema kasi positive siya. Pag left naman, magne-negative kasi yung magiging answer niyo doon. So, as is na negative yun. Mamaya, I will give you an example. Okay? Then, last, of course, is conclusion. So, present your findings or conclusions and cite some sources to support your findings or conclusions. Okay? So, always kapag nag-state tayo, it should be in a complete sentence. Okay? In a final statement. So, yun yung ating final step when we are testing a hypothesis. Yan. So, let's have this example 1. So, let us read. A random sample of 100 recorded death in the Philippines during the past years showed an average lifespan of 71.8 years, with a standard deviation of 8.9 years. So that's the seem to indicate that the average lifespan today is greater than 70 years. So use as 5% level of significant or 0.05. So in here, first we have to state or formulate the null and alternative hypothesis. Okay, so isulat natin siya dito. Yan, step 1 natin, we have to state the hypothesis, yung null and alternative hypothesis natin. So, ang claim natin dito ay yung average lifespan is greater than 70 years. So, tatandaan ninyo, when we are dealing with a critical value method, always yung ating null hypothesis dapat equal siya. Equal yung ilalagay ninyo. Okay? So, dito, pwede nyo siyang ilagay, the population mean is equal to 70. Pag alternative naman, okay, so since yung ating claim dyan ay greater than 70, okay, yun yung ilalagay natin. Population mean is greater than 70. So, yan na yung magiging null and alternative hypothesis natin. Again, always kapag null hypothesis ang ilalagay nyo lagi ay equal. Okay? Tapos sa alternative, it depends on the claim. Okay? Kung greater than siya, o di greater than yung ilalagay ninyo. Okay? Yan yung rule natin when we are dealing with the critical value method. Next is the level of significance and test statistic. So, dito, yung level of significance natin, syempre, given na siya. Okay? Yung level of significance natin ay equal kay 0.05 or yung 5%. Okay? Isa yung ating level of significance. Then, the test statistic. So, ano kaya yung gagamitin nating test statistic dito? Okay. Test statistic, so since given ba yung ano natin? Okay, so since yung ating random sample or yung ating sample size dito ay greater than, okay, greater than 30, ayan siya, greater than 30, then we will use z-test. Okay? So, yung gagamitin natin ay z-test. So, yan ako na lang siya dito as number 3. So, z-test yung gagamitin natin. At saka given din yung standard deviation niya dyan na 8.9. So, z-test yung gagamitin natin. Next is, ayan. To determine the critical region, kailangan nating i-identify kung one-tailed siya or two-tailed. So, again, saan tayo magbe-base ng kung paano natin i-identify kung one-tailed or two-tailed siya? Dito sa ating alternative hypothesis. Okay, so dito, greater than. So, anong sabi ko sa inyo? Kapag greater than, siya ay right-tailed. Okay, right-tailed or yung right-tailed na tinatawag natin ay siya ay one-tailed. So, right-tailed or yung one-tailed. So, yung right and left, kind lang siya ng one-tailed test. So, simply, ayan, pwede siya one-tailed kasi ang nandito naman ay one-tailed lang. So, same lang siya, positive or negative. Kaya, ayan. So, one-tailed. And then, we have here, para ano natin yung ating critical value natin. So, Z critical or yung critical value, o sige, ilagay ko na lang na critical value para hindi kayo dito. So, yung critical value natin here will be, para yun yung isa-substitute natin. Okay? or titingnan natin later. Yung critical value natin, kung 5% yung significance level and one-tailed yung gagamitin natin, punta tayo dito. Ito yung 0.05 and then one-tailed. So, saan sila? We have 1.645. So, 1.645. Yan yung critical value natin. Okay? Then, next is to compute for the z value. Kasi z-test yung ating gagamitin. So, we have here, dito na lang. Baka hindi na siya kasya sa kabila. So, yung formula natin for z value is sample mean minus the population mean all over the population standard deviation over square root of n. So, dito, identify lang natin yung given. So, yung sample mean natin, of course, siya yung ito. 71.8 years. 71.8 minus yung population mean natin ay yung nandito, syempre, yung nandyan sa claim natin. Laging tatandaan niyo yan. So, siya yung kung sino yung nasa claim, siya yung population mean. Over, the standard deviation is 8.9 over the square root of 100. We're going to compute that. Excuse me. If we're going to compute that, we will be having 2.02. Okay, we will be having 2.02. Then, after that, yan, magdi-decide na tayo kung i-reject ba natin or i-accept. So, yung na-compute natin na z-value ay 2.02, tapos yung ating critical value ay 1.645. So, sino ang mas mataas sa kanila? We have the 2.02. So, greater than. Ibig sabihin, greater than yung na-compute natin na absolute value ng z natin at saka yung greater than siya doon sa ating critical value na 1.645. So, ibig sabihin, pag greater than siya, we have to reject. Okay? We have to reject. So, i-reject natin siya. So, to conclude, ayan, conclusion natin, the average lifespan, okay, therefore, the average lifespan today is greater than 70 years. 70 years at 5% significance level. At 5% significance level. Okay, so yun na ating magiging conclusion. So, yun na yung overall process natin on how to test a statistic using the critical value method. Okay? Yan, let's have this next example. So, the Human Resource Office of a private company claims that the mean monthly salary of its employees is 28,500 pesos with a standard deviation of 7,200 pesos. So, a researcher randomly selects 64 employees and finds that they have a mean monthly salary of 26,900 pesos. So, at 5% level of significance, is there sufficient evidence to conclude that the sampled employees earn lower salaries than the rest of the employees? So, first, again, we have to state or to formulate the alternative and null hypothesis. Yan. So, again, always remember, we will be basing our hypothesis sa claim natin. So, yung claim natin dito, ayan siya, claim is yung mean monthly salary ay 28,500. So, when we are going to formulate a null hypothesis, mean is equal to 28,500. Okay? Always equal when we are dealing with critical value method. Okay? Remember that. Wait lang, ayusin ko lang yung sulat. Mahirap kasi magsulat dito sa my pen. Okay. So, mean is equal to 28,500. Then, yung alternative hypothesis natin, i-base natin siya doon sa pinapahanap sa atin. Okay? Sabi dyan, lower salaries than. So, lower than or less than. So, ibig sabihin, less than 28,500. So, yun lang yung titingnan ninyo. Okay? Less than. Next is the level of significance. So, yung level of significance natin, again, we will be using 0.05. And then, for test statistics, we will be using z-test. Why? Because population standard deviation is known here, and also, as you can see, we have here a random of 64. Okay, employees, which is greater than 30. So, we will be using z-test here. Okay, then, next is we have to identify the critical value. We have to identify the critical value. At yung critical value natin, malalaman natin via alternative hypothesis natin. Okay? So, sabi dyan, less than. Okay? Less than yung ating alternative hypothesis. Ibig sabihin, siya ay left-tailed. At saan belong yung left-tailed? Sa one-tailed natin. Okay? So, one-tailed test. So, dito siya, one-tailed test. And then, yung level of significance is 0.05. So, we have 1.645. And since left siya, ibig sabihin, siya ay negative. So, yung critical value natin ay negative 1.645. So, yan yung critical value. So, again, remember kapag left siya, to the left or less than, yung makita ninyo dito sa ating alternative hypothesis, then we will be putting negative sign there. Okay, to the left. Okay, next is we have to compute now for the z value. Kasi z-test yung gagamitin natin. So, again, the formula is the sample mean minus the population mean all over the standard deviation over the sample size. So, let's just substitute the given. We should always know how to identify the given. So, yung sample mean natin dyan, of course, yung 26,900. Okay? 26,900 minus yung nasa claim natin, which is yung 28,000, yung population mean, 28,500. All over, naano siya. Okay. All over the population standard deviation, which is yung ating 7,200 over the square root of sample size, which is 64. So, pag kinumpute natin yan, ang lalabas dyan ay negative 1.78. Okay, negative 1.78. So, now, we are ready to decide whether to accept or reject. Okay? So, ang nakuha natin na z value ay negative 1.78. At yung ating critical value ay negative 1.645. So, which is greater than, of course, yung ating negative 1.645. So, therefore, we are going to reject. Okay, we are going to reject. So, to conclude, ayan, therefore, the sample employees, so ilagay lang natin, therefore, the sampled employees earn lower salaries than the rest at the 5% level of, or 5% significance level. So, yan na yung magiging answer natin. Okay, so that's it for this video lesson. Hope naintindihan. Thank you so much.